Hey everybody, it's good to see you all again. This segment is just to kind of let you guys know what is going on in this episode. So, in this episode, there is a situation. Towards the end, or anywhere in this episode, there is a blank. That means there's no sound coming in the episode, and you might think that is your fault. That is my fault. You can blame me, say it was my fault, because that is an editing problem, and that's because of recording and the recording platform that I use. If that happens to be in the episode, if that's in it, what you need to do is to just disregard it. Don't worry about it. Consider it like an ad break. Consider it like a break. Consider it like we're taking a 5 minute break. Consider it like that. So, no freaking out. No need to worry. Make sure you guys enjoy the episode, enjoy what's in it, and y'all have a good one. And enjoy this one. Really enjoy it and have fun. And please disregard the blanks in there. Consider them breaks. Hope you guys enjoy this episode and thank you guys for understanding and for your cooperation. All right. All right, we're here. All right, guys, we're back here today with a good friend of mine. This is Jon Car. And so excited to meet you, by the way. So honored to be doing this. Thank you for coming by today.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries at all. Sorry for the late entry getting you in here, but so excited to be doing this. So excited. All right, let's get into this. So why don't you give the audience a little bit about yourself? Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience out there?
Not a problem. I'm Jon Car. I am a singer-songwriter from Texas, Corpus Christi to be precise. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so I play many instruments. Yeah, I like to focus, I guess, just vocally, really. But I love to play music, man. I've been playing music since I was 4. I started recording my album maybe about a year and a half ago. And man, it's been just an amazing journey, and we're finally getting towards the end here, releasing the first single of the album. I'm excited, man. It's definitely a dream come true. Some of the artists that I've been able to work with on this has just blown my mind, and yeah, that pretty much sums me up. You know.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Congrats on your new album. So
Thank
excited
you.
for you. So
Appreciate
excited.
it.
Yeah, no problem. And I heard that you're from Texas. That's awesome because I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas as
Oh,
well.
awesome.
That's amazing. And you said Corpus Christi?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to Corpus Christi. I'm up here in Houston.
Oh, nice. I go up there quite often.
Oh, really? Oh, I might see you up there then. That's awesome. That's incredible, actually. That's awesome. All right, let let's get into this. So, I know earlier you mentioned about your album, so I want to kind of go into that. So, what inspired you to start writing that album and start beginning recording it?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You might have cut out there.
I did cut out. Oh my
There
God,
you go.
I'm so sorry. My bad. My bad.
It's
I'll repeat.
it's all
Just
good.
just in case you didn't hear me. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Um, I was going to go into your album because I'm assuming this is your first album you ever done. So I wanted to kind of go
Yeah.
into what inspired you to begin writing this album and begin recording it.
Um, you know, it was actually my girlfriend. So at the time I was not really feeling music. I mean, obviously I've never not felt it, but like, I was very uninspired. And my girlfriend just told me to go for it. I started networking, through Facebook and Instagram, and I got a hold of my producer, which was at the time was doing live song reviews. So, of course, me being, this small artist, I'm like, hey, listen to my stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he listened to quite a few of them, and he's, oh, this is pretty good, and he's like, you should probably, like, get recorded in a studio. Your vocal tone sounds like it could be like really good. And I wound up sending him one that he kind of flipped out a little bit. He's like, whoa. He's like, I didn't realize like you had that much to your voice. I mean, I have a 5.5 octave range, and he goes, yeah, let's talk, right? So, and at first I thought, well, he's probably not gonna bother. Sure enough, the next day he sent a message. He's like, hey man, so like, what's up? What are you doing with music? Like, what you got going on? And we started chit chat and talking and stuff, and we eventually came to the understanding, I guess, or he agreed to take me on, as his artist. And yeah, I mean, then it just kind of took off from there. But it really all started with my girlfriend telling me, like, you need to chase your dreams and you need to do it. And yeah, I mean, a year and a half later, I got a couple tracks under my belt. I've been up to Nashville a few times to record the vocals, and I still have a few tracks left to do for the album, and I'm gonna be flying up to New York to finish that up.
Oh. Wow, that's honestly amazing. And props to your girlfriend because, she started this whole album for you. That's it's really exciting. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was definitely the swift kick in the behind that I needed.
Oh yeah. That's definite. And I also heard that you're gonna be releasing your single pretty soon. So
Yes.
tell us about that, your upcoming single. Tell us all about that.
So it is called The Danger. Released July 2nd on all streaming platforms, iTunes as well, Amazon, anywhere you can get your hands on music. That song right there was kind of inspired by, like, I guess, like personal battles, but also it's almost like talking to myself, telling myself that I like to exceed my limits. Just because something is scary or something's dangerous doesn't mean that you should stop there. Sometimes obviously you should, but sometimes you just got to listen to your gut. And this song pretty much like embodies that, basically telling oneself, like, go beyond your limits, go past what you think is your like safe zone, because everybody has their safe zone, but I have a quote that I always say is, you got to force your dreams to come true. If you don't do it, no one will. The only one holding you down is you. And this was basically the idea that brought about The Danger.
Oh, okay. And so is your whole first album about danger, or is it just a single that's about it?
No, it's just the single. The album will be called Dream 119.
Oh, Dream 119. Wow. So what's the whole
Mm-hmm.
concept of that album? What's it all about? Like, what's the concept of all that?
So it's essentially my life. If you and I can't say if you listen to it in the order that they come out, because the songs are not coming out in the order that I recorded them. But it's essentially my life, if that makes any sense. The title for example, Dream 119. That comes from when I was a kid. My mom would always tell me, she's like, one day, everybody's gonna know you. It's like you're too talented. And mind you, she would tell me this when I was like really little, because I started playing the piano very young, and then I started singing, and she'd always tell me, one day, you're everybody's gonna know who you are, and you're gonna make it, and then you're gonna take me on vacations, and you're gonna buy me a house and this, that, and like, she made it all nice, and then she brought back the like, hey, I gave birth to you, you pay back, right? And and my mom had this thing of like saying things and having them come true all the time. I mean, my dad would joke around and call her a witch, because she'd say she had a dream about something, and then the next day, said thing was happening, and so, and her birthday is 1/19, January 19. So that's kind of like my, how do I say it? Like, look, Ma, this is for you, kind of a thing. And so yeah, I mean, the entire album is basically just my life summed up into a couple of tracks. I don't know if I'm at liberty to to say the names of the other tracks, but I'll say it anyways. I have one that's, in fact, the very first one that I recorded last year was called "Ready for War," and again, that was like, my own personal struggles, written out in a way where, obviously you can relate to it or to your own, your own idea or whatever, however it strikes your chord. But, as the writer, we put our heart and souls into each and every one of these songs, because I wanted it to be something that everybody could find a meaning for. So it's something, they always say, but again, I'm sorry. Have you ever had, a certain song or a certain few songs that like really have distinct meaning for you because you get a certain message from them, and that's basically what I was looking for. But I was trying to basically put myself out there, and if people can relate, then they can relate.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you 100%. And I really admire that you were able to put your entire life into an album. That's really like amazing. That's really incredible how you're able to do that. And and Dream 119, very clever, by the way. Very
Thank
clever
you.
how you put that together. And the whole concept of being your life, I think people are going to relate to it once they hear about it. They're going to relate to it because it's about life. I mean, everybody has their personal struggles, and whenever they hear that first track that's going to play, bam, they're going to get to know you, and they're going to relate to it. They're going to like it.
Yeah, and and that's the goal. Of course, music. The music I make is it really is like for me. But at the end of the day, it's I don't make music for anybody else. In other words, I don't target anybody. I want to make a song that is like basically like mine wholeheartedly, and something that I can like really connect to, and then from there hope other people can connect to. Because in my opinion, I think that's what makes good music.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely, 100%. And I really love that kind of music where you can relate to it. I love hearing a song and I'm like, that's totally me. That's how I feel. That's how my life went.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's how my life went. And when you can relate to a song, it really touches you deeply and ultimately really gives you the total musical experience when listening to a song. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, amazing. And I can also, definitely, had similar things to your life, struggles, you know. I've also had those kind of moments. I think everybody, around your age or even younger or older than you, has had some type of struggle in their life. If
Oh,
they
of course.
haven't, then that's not how life goes. And
Yeah. If they haven't, let's trade spots here.
oh yeah, but I wish I could meet somebody that's never had a struggle in their life, because I have met people that have had all types of it, and when they listen to your song and all the songs really on your album, they're gonna start to really feel that. They're gonna feel deeply about it, and they'll start to relate. They're gonna have that feeling, like, yes, I've gone through that. Yes, you definitely got me. Yeah, I feel you, definitely.
That's awesome.
I have a feeling they're gonna be like that, and if they aren't, well, I feel bad.
Yeah, well, it's a hit or miss. So some people, like certain things, and some people just don't. So it one can only just hope that it like strikes a chord. You know.
Oh yeah, It definitely will. I have a feeling it will. I have a feeling it does. And what's the concept of the music with your album? Like what's the concept of the music behind it? What's the concept of that?
So it's like a pop. I mean, it's a pop rock album, or rock alt, with just a sprinkle of EDM. Like it's kind of like in the background. And I wanted. So when I was like searching for the style of music, because I play all sorts of styles. I mean, I I'd be with you all day if I were to like really get down that road. But when I was truly like trying to discover like what was me, like what is that the one like vibe that really just strikes inside of me, and we came up with uh, with this kind of a style. It's I don't even know how to really explain it. I mean, it's definitely like smack dab in the middle between pop and rock. Well, or maybe just a little bit more leaning more towards rock. Um, that's definitely just been a huge inspiration, to me. At least a lot of my favorite artists are. I'm a big metal fan, but I listen to everything, and the music is. I wanted something that would, you know, be able to get the crowd involved, but also something you could dance to, and something you could just mellow out to. So it was a little difficult trying to find like that right mixture of what and what, this and that. And I think we came upon a pretty good sound. I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Yeah, I'm honestly excited to get to hear it. I'm so excited. And I'm also, props to you for doing all that. And, when did you start, was this before the pandemic or like after? Well, not really after pandemic,
so
like was this
this
before?
so it was right when the pandemic started. I started in, I want to say, March or April, I think. When I well, so no, I probably say March when I really started like networking through social media sites, and just adding other musicians, adding producers, and just trying to branch out, to just get a feel of what the music community is up to, right? And then I started recording, oh man, May, I think, or June of last year.
Ah,
Yeah. So and it was, it took a couple months, um, like between writing the song and all the instrumentation and all that, from start to finish per song. So each one of these songs has roughly taken about 3 months from start to finish. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a longer process than I thought, because I've been writing music as long as I can remember. Um, But as a kid, I used to have my studio equipment, and I'd record it real quick, and it's like, man, that's kind of cool. But there'd always be like parts I'm like, it's all right, like I don't like that one part, but it's good. It's good, always with it, it's good. And when I started working with my producer, the greatest thing that I love about this dude is that I get into the booth and I record some stuff, and he go, that was like super amazing, but I can tell you can do better. And I'm like, what? There's no way I can do better. That's all I got. And we would do like 30 takes, and you sure as hell enough is I do something better. And he's like, all those other takes were fantastic, but he's all, I can tell you know what you're doing. And and he wouldn't settle for like, that's really good. He wants like amazing, and that in itself, I think, is what is going to make this album so good. I mean, maybe I'm biased, I'm probably biased. And I've shown a few people, some clips, and they're like, man, is that you? Yeah. It's like, wow. And that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's been the entire recording process has been so tedious. Vocal sessions alone are 12 hours a piece, and I go straight through them. And when I'm said and done at the end of the day, it's like I could keep going, because I feel motivated, and I have this want, like or better yet, it's not even just a want. It's like I need. I need this to be what I envision. And I tell you, man, my producer has definitely guided me and helped me a lot in this process. And I think it definitely shows, or y'all will be able to tell when the records come out.
Yeah, most definite. Most definite. And I also admire where you get the motivation from and your strong connection with your producer. I really, loved you have that strong connection with him. I could tell that you guys put a lot of heart and soul into, this whole album.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely tell.
Yeah. My producer always tells me, his name's Adam, by the way. Adam always goes, he's all, no matter what you get into, and no matter what kind of deal gets put in front of you, if it's not about relationship, walk away. He goes, there has to be relationship before you can have business or transactions. He's all, because yes, while the music industry is very transactional, there has to be that connection where you as a person can connect to the other person. And I've taken that to heart, and I like the idea of being able to work on something with a friend and not just like a client or an associate. Like it's things come out so much better when they're on a personal level.
Oh yeah. And I love how music really moves you on a personal level. I think whenever you write a song that's, personal to you, and it's really personal, that's when you can really feel it.
Oh yeah.
That's when you can really feel it. And through the vocal and engineering and production, that's when you wrote a good song. That's when you wrote a good one. And I think anything that comes, from hearing what you said, anything that comes from you sounds good. I mean, of course, Lee, I have a feeling you're new, so you haven't really released a lot of music yet. But
yeah.
I have a feeling that whatever you have planned is gonna sound really good. It's gonna sound.
I hope so. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been a lot of hard work and thousands of miles of traveling. you know, to get it just right.
Oh
And
yeah.
oh man, I'm literally at the edge of my seat. And honestly, we just announced the release a few days ago, and like leading up to that was just like, come on, you know, it's have you ever just been so excited about something that like you can't like you have a hard time sleeping because the next day you have like something important to do,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I've been. That's how
Oh.
I've been. But like my anxiety's through the roof.
Oh wow.
But it's like a good anxiety though, like because obviously it's something I'm looking forward to, and I am very excited about it. And yeah, that's where I'm sitting. You know, it's as days get closer, it's like, oh come on, you know, I almost wish we could just like hop on over to July 2nd, just so I can be like, ta-da.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel you out with that. And you know, we're getting to the middle of June, so you're almost there. We're getting to the middle of
Oh
June,
yeah,
so we're
yeah,
almost there.
yeah. We got I think 3 weeks to the day today, I believe. Oh, no, mistaken. I believe so.
Oh yeah, I believe about 3 weeks from now, which I'm excited about. I'm excited about as well. I'm always excited when one of my guests has new projects coming out because I'm like, come on, get there. I want to listen
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, and this is my debut single, so this is the first real song I've released to the public, or that I'm going to be releasing to the public. You know, I mess around and record little snippets of my ideas, like, hey, you know, like I was kind of coming up with this, you know, but it's always like videos. It's never like actually, you know, thought out, planned out, strategic, you know, placement of certain sounds and instrumentations, like to envision. It's always, you know, just a quick idea. Like honestly, I do this a lot. I go to a grocery store or something, and when I pull up, I get an idea. And what do? I pull out my phone and I write it down. And you know, whether I play it, you know, on the little recording software that's on there, or just like voice memos. Um, but this is the first time that I'm actually, I mean, going to be on all media outlets. That's that in itself just like has me over the moon. Oh, you sound like really far away. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah,
Actually, likewise, because this is a time where everybody in the whole world is going to be able to just click on your album link, and they go there and they get to hear what your music's about, and they get to
yeah,
start formulating things about you, and they start to really, enjoy what you have. And the debut album is always, that time. And every artist that has ever released their first album is acting like you right now. They're acting, they have like mass anxiety.
oh
They're
yeah,
like super stressful. They're nervous about, they're nervous like, oh, I hope they like it. I hope they listen to it.
yeah.
I
And that's the hardest part about it, is actually getting someone to listen to it. You know,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
I almost feel like a lot of times, like people tend to not really take you seriously, you know, when you're not like this huge massive star, right? They're like, oh, you know, it's just this dude or whatever, you know. And it's like getting that step for someone to take like 3 minutes and 30 seconds out of their life to just check out a song, you know. It's hard, you know.
Hmm.
um and I see that on a daily basis. um, you know, you can only hope that when you put something out into the world that like, because I mean that's essentially the only thing you can do. You know, that's once that's out, that's like your job. Of course, you promote it and stuff, but you don't control the other end of the clicks.
Yeah. And just you feeling this way about your first album, I'm sure this is how all artists feel. And I definitely feel about you not taking seriously because usually people don't really, they don't look at the new artists. They look at those big ones that always
Yeah.
pop up on platforms. And I definitely get where you're at because my podcast has been tons of small artists. That's primarily why I did this, to give people
Mm-hmm.
like you a platform to really, have them like promote and, showcase their talents because, all small artists, they need that, I realized that when I
Oh,
began
yeah.
this, I realized that a lot of small artists need this. They need, of course you have, promotion. Of course you can pretty yourself up with a social media page, but it's all about the play. It's all about when they press play and they like it, that's the important part. And I think that's how everybody was when their first album. I think that's how everybody was when they first started to put their voice out there.
Mm.
You know, they were like like the edge of their seat. They were trying they were like trying to see like if people are gonna like it. And when you're a
Yeah.
small artist, that's also what you look out for. You look you're trying so hard to get people to like it. You're trying, a lot to get people to listen to you and get to, you know, see you seriously as an artist. I think that's
Yeah.
very hard as an artist. I think, honestly, just, between you and me, I've met a lot of small artists. You're not the first one, and you probably won't ever be the first or last one. I'll ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
They always act like this whenever I meet them because they're brand new. you
Mm-hmm.
know, I never
Oh,
heard
yeah.
of them or I never listened to their music. They're always like, and they're also like nervous to talk to me. They're nervous to get to do this because, they're nervous to get to have people listen to them, and they always have that kind of face. They're probably sweating too. They're probably like massively sweating. Because I'm sure you have like bottles and like cartons of sweat in your closet. It's like, oh my god, can I just be here already?
Um, yeah, pretty much. As far as like interviews and stuff, yeah, no, I'm an outgoing person. I'm very talkative. I'm good. But yeah, waiting for the song to come out, it's just like, oh my god, why? Like, and yes, of course, I mean, nerves of like whether people are gonna like it or people are not gonna like it because a lot of work went into it,
Oh yeah.
But I'm very confident. I've had a lot of uh, feedback, from people I never thought I'd have feedback from, or even less talk to, and they seem pretty confident in it. So that's kind of like taken my worry away for the most part. I think my nerves are probably at like a 10 or 15, out of 100, compared to like a few months ago, that
Oh
was
yeah.
through the roof. But
Most definitely.
yeah, I think it's gonna go well, you know. Uh, and when the next one comes out, I think that one will go well as well. It's I think that we've planned these songs out well enough that it shouldn't be a problem. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem either. And the other difficult part is feedback. I think another one is feedback. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, have you had people listen to your song? Well, of
Oh
course
yeah.
not. Of course not, because you haven't released it. But have you had people, you know, check out,
So
snippets?
I've had people that are in the music industry listen to it and tell me that they are bangers. You know, I had, in fact, I was just talking to a record exec. I won't say the label, but you know, he's like, this is like good enough for commercial use. Like, it's sync ready, you know, this and that, and he goes, man, he's like, if only I was looking for or looking to sign talent right now. So, well, you know, I'm a humble person, so you know what, if you ever, you know, decide that, you know, that I was a fit for you, you know, I hope that you keep me in mind. He goes, oh yeah, for sure. And I thought that was the end of that conversation. 20 minutes later, he sends me a message and goes, hey man, I got a buddy who's looking for talent right now. Do you mind if I send him your track? I'm like, hell yeah, you know, go for it. You know, so I'm getting feedback, and you know, that, which is why I guess my confidence level in it is where it's at. Because, you know, if someone in the position where this gentleman or some of the other people that have listened to it were to have told me like something like horrible about it, then I'd be like, that's it, you know, cancel, throw it away, let's do something else. But, you know, it hasn't been that. It's been very positive vibes. And, you know, everybody who has listened to it has told me the same thing. It's a sync dream. You know, it's perfect for sync, which is like for TV and movies and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's better yet, I like to say I like to will my own future. So I'll.
Oh yeah. And it's so surprising that a a recording executive actually reached out to you. That's pretty big that they reached out to you and they actually like it.
So that was my exact thing too. Was you know. I've always had the mentality of like, you know what, worst case scenario someone can say is no or not respond, you know, and all you had to do is reach out, you know, if they don't want to talk to you, they won't, you know. And I was lucky enough that he did, you know, and he gave me his feedback, and uh, you know, I can only hope that by listening to my music, I instilled, I guess, the song itself, you know, and that's what I always tell people is you know, it's a damn good song when it just gets stuck in your head, you know.
Oh yeah.
um, mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just because, you know, I recorded, you know, I say, you know, a lot, my bad, but I don't know if it's because I recorded it and it's just stuck in my head from having to say the lines over and over and over again. Because boy, I tell you, it's over and over and over again. But man, even I have it just stuck in my head. You know, I think it's gonna be good. No,
Yeah,
I
it's
know
gonna be
it's gonna be good. So
fantastic.
we'll keep that good fortune and just say I know.
Yeah. I think we're gonna just stick with I know. It's not that I could, but it's gonna be I know.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna stick with that. And I think, you know, when he contacted you, when he gave you that feedback, I think, you know, that was a sign that, you know, one day you're gonna make it big. I think that was a sign, you know, that you might make it big. You know, not every small artist has ever, you know, gotten that message because, you know, not
Mm-hmm.
every small artist has ever had that. So I've talked with
Yeah,
a
well, I
lot of
mean,
them,
one
and
can only hope.
they never, you know, they never told me they had a big person, you know, talk to them. And it's rarely to see those small artists, you know, get someone big, you know. But then here you are now, and you're telling me a recording executive just out of nowhere gave you feedback, and
Mm-hmm.
you know he likes it, and he says that he's good for, you know, TV and movies, and then there's people, you know, giving you feedback. So you're on the right track. Then you're on the right track. Then.
I'd like to hope. I'd like to hope so. And you know, I'm very persistent when I want something. You know, and I don't usually give up that easy. And of course, there's been times where I'm like, yeah, I quit. You know, I'm done. And I turn around 10 minutes later. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's just keep going. You know, and it's, uh, uh, it, I feel like because I've been so persistent, and I'm always trying to network, you know, and I want to make this happen, and I will make this happen, and I don't know when or how long it would take, but I'll be damned if I don't, because I know what I have, and I know where I'm going, if that makes sense. Call that determination. I don't know. Definitely not cockiness, because I've always been a very humble person. I don't like. I've never been one to be like, oh well, I'm better than you. That's just not me. And if I ever get like that, that's the day I quit. But again, I feel that it's coming. You feel me?
Yeah, I do. Definitely. And, and I agree, it's coming. And, something big going to happen to you. Honestly, when that message came to you, I have a feeling that God's going to do great things with you. And that's a sign that big things are coming. The huge and
I agree.
gigantic things are coming for you.
Yeah, I feel so. I feel like if you put good vibes into the world, good vibes will come back towards you. And I am putting out as many cool vibes as I can, man, because I don't just want, but I need, if that makes any sense. Like, the music has been a huge part of my life, my entire life. And there's been several times where I'm like, I quit and I don't want to do this anymore. And then I find myself watching TV, and I pick up my guitar and it's in my hands, and I'm like, when the hell did I pick this damn thing up? And it comes right back to me. And it feels, it's something that I have really deep inside of me, that I need to bring out. And again, it's not something that I want. It's something that I need. I need people to connect with my music, because I feel like, for all I know, maybe one of my songs will connect with someone that was having an issue, was having a problem. And I mean, because Lord knows I've connected with many songs that have probably saved my life, on many occasions. There should be that connection with people, and I want to make that connection. I want to be able to help somebody because they just needed to hear something that they needed to hear when they heard it, And it sounds kind of, it sounds a little silly, but I know music's touched me in that way, and I feel like it's my duty to give that to someone else.
Oh yeah, And I wouldn't call that silly, because if music has been a part of your life, then that's part of your life. I would never call it silly. I would never, because like you, music has been a part of my life, and everything that has happened, I use music as coping, and also, like you, I also I don't make music, but I'm a songwriter. As some people know, I'm a songwriter, and so I write music. And so, like yourself, music has also been a part of me, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I don't think it's ever going to change, ever. I don't think it's ever going to you know, and I don't think, and like you, that's not going to change ever. I think you're always going to be, you're always going to be this person. You're always going to be this, this, this musically person. You're going to always be in the music game. I think you're going to be very successful, in music, if not more, if not, entirely more.
One can only hope.
Oh yeah, I can only hope, but I have a feeling, big things are gonna happen, and if they don't, I always tell these young artists, if nothing big happens to you, then just keep grinding because opportunities always show up. Opportunities always, show up, and
They always do.
most of the good ones, come up, as a surprise. You never expect them.
Hmm. But always when you need them.
Yeah,
If you've ever noticed that, opportunities usually always arise right when you need them, and especially when you need them the most. You
yeah.
know, um, Lord knows that that's happened to me on multiple occasions. Like, I need this to happen to me today, and ta-da, here it is, and it's like the timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah, opportunities have a very good timing. And I like that about opportunities, that people can get opportunities, a lot of the times when they need it. And also opportunities come up, right out of the blue. Like you never know you needed this and then like boom, this opportunity came and now it's a part of you and now you're doing this
Mm-hmm.
and now it's a part of, your life. And you know, I want to follow up with this. How has music, influenced your life? How has music influenced and impacted your life?
It has completely molded my entire life. Um, Everything I have ever generally done has been based off of music. Um, it it has provided my safe space. It has provided my sanity. Um, I've always gone to sit like I'm stressed. I pick up the guitar. Stressed. I play the drums. Um, I have anxiety. It never fails. My entire life has always been based around music, and like I've said before, I've tried to not be a junkie and walk away, but it always comes right back to me, and it's at every step in my life when I thought things were horrible, there was always something, whether I played music or I wrote a song or I heard a song that really pulled me through it. Um, it has shaped who I am as a human being. That is undeniable. Um, and I feel like it will continue to do so until the day I die.
hmm Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And what you said just touched me deeply. You just hit me. You just hit me. But I definitely get where you're coming from. I definitely get where you're at with that. And I can see that it's truly impacted your life, in the best way possible.
I think so.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's gonna keep doing that. Music's gonna always, it's gonna always be there for you. And I always believe music was always there. Whenever we needed it, or just be there in the blue. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
we're feeling anything opposite of happy or calm. Music was always there. I don't think there was anything else that would have made me feel better or
Mm-hmm.
help start the day.
Yeah.
Music has always been there. I think everybody else can agree because I think 2020 was that year when we needed music the most. I think that year
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, last year when the pandemic hit and everybody had to stay home, it wasn't like before where we used to do like regular things. We had to convert to virtual like this right now. And
Mm-hmm.
we had to, start thinking about our health and, how things are. And, I think that was the year when music was at its peak. I think that's where, a lot of good music started to,
Oh,
multiply and started to show up. And that's
oh
where
yeah.
And I've noticed that's mostly where, a lot of artists started to pop up because, a lot of young adults and a lot of children and a lot of, older adults, they had to kind of cut plans. They had to change their way of, you know, they had to really change the way they do, their life because they couldn't go to like places. Of course, now they're
Oh
starting to
yeah.
loosen up, restrictions, but before then they had to close down places. They didn't know where to go, and that's where those small artists came from. You and all these small artists start to
Hmm.
pop up. I noticed that they started to pop up, whenever the pandemic struck, because of course, what else are you supposed to do when you can't go somewhere? What else are you
Yeah.
supposed to do?
Yeah. And I am not going to be surprised uh, how much content gets released here in the upcoming months, because all people have had is time. You put a musician in a room and he's going to make music, and I mean I firmly believe there's going to be an abundance of new songs, new content, um, because if there was a better time to do it, that was the time to do it. Everybody was stuck at home. What else do you have to do? Sit
Mm-hmm.
down, come up with something. I mean, God knows I did it. Um, it's every day. I try to take time off, but it doesn't seem to happen. Um,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what other artists put out. I know some of the musicians that I follow are releasing new music, and that just gets me hyped. That puts more inspiration behind me to want to do that as well.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Most definite. And I really like that, 2020 opened that door for a lot of musicians because, in the past, not a lot of people were interested in music. In the past, adults were able to continue on their lives. They were thinking about music. They were the only time they think of music is like on the radio or on
Yeah.
Spotify. They were listening to music. They were thinking about, making it their own. And the pandemic, kind of gave everybody a chance to kind of think about their health first of all, and also think about how to construct their life. Like me, I couldn't go to excuse me places I wanted to go anywhere. I couldn't do that, and I had to really sit down and really reflect on like how life's been and how life has really took a step on, and how life has really changed. And that's also where a lot of inspiration for music comes from, because you have nothing to do. A lot of us have nothing to do. I honestly, it's summer for me, so I have nothing to do. And like me doing this, talking to people like you, is it's really how I get my inspiration too for songwriting. Also, when hearing people in their point of in their point and how they do music, and
Hmm.
when the pandemic opened up, small artists, people started to, life hit them in the brain, and they were like, oh, look at this, I can make music like this, and you know, they started to make their own, and that's where most of the small artists came from, because you started to record music back in March. March was where the pandemic, started to kind of become worldwide, and people started to close down doors and started to wear masks and all that. I think March was that. And then after a year or
Yeah.
so, musicians start to have that constant schedule of making music and recording and
Oh
writing
yeah.
music. Once you start making music, it's kind of hard to kind of leave doing music. The only time you could ever leave music is if you have something horrible happen to you, or you have something else you want to move on to.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. And sometimes it really, anchors me when they say it will be your thing for the rest of your life because, where's your backup plan? I also don't like whenever they contribute so much as a small artist, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Because I always tell them to prepare a backup plan. Like what if
Oh
one day
yeah.
your music doesn't get anywhere? Like you have to have a backup plan. Like
Oh yeah. For sure.
yeah.
I mean, you have to be realistic, but also like goal oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I own a contracting company. Definitely, I love it. Definitely not what I want to do the rest of my life. I would prefer I'd prefer to be able to play music, but who wouldn't?
Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, yeah. And I'm so excited for all this new music to be coming on because just like you, a lot of artists have brand new projects that are coming. Just recently I had somebody tell me they're releasing a project in August, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exciting. I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. And, just
Thank you.
getting to hear this from other people just has me excited because it's also kind of boring down here. I mean, of course, Texas. Texas is one of the leading things in cases, so there's not a lot of places open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and music and this podcast have been very, music is also very good for coping. I'm not sure that's how you do it,
Oh
but
yeah.
for me, it's coping. So, many people know that I'm a songwriter. They sometimes say you should record music, but I'm a songwriter, and so I absolutely love to write, and I love, to pick up a pen or pencil, and I love to jot down ideas. Sometimes when I hear people, when I have interviews with these people, I get inspiration from them, and I get their point of view and how they do music, and I'm like, okay, yes, and I can start playing for my own music. And whenever I'm upset or whenever I'm feeling down and such, and shit like that, I always had music to be there, and I think that's how everybody had with the pandemic. Music was like the leading force for the pandemic. We couldn't survive without music. I don't think we could ever. Of course, you had the
Oh.
necessities, but music is like the main thing with music. That's how I went through it was music. Playing a damn good song and listening to
Yeah.
music that really touches you, and just getting
hmm
to just getting to know, and also just to meet so many people like me. Getting to meet musicians like me that I can connect to, and just getting to you know meet people like that. Pandemic also opened up, so I think I think it changed. I think it impacted life too. I don't know if that's how it is for you over there, but for me,
Uh,
it changed a lot.
definitely. No, it impacted me a lot, you know. And but how's that song go? Dust yourself off and try again. You know,
Yeah.
get up and keep moving because you know what? The most inspiration you'll ever get is when you get up.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
the fall hurts, but you learn when you stand up.
mhm. True words there.
And it's made a difference to me. I think so. Uh, and all I can do is just try to keep my thing going.
Mhm. Mhm. Definitely. And that's how I've been too. That's how I've been very recently too. I've been getting back into writing because the pandemic also allowed us to really focus on us for a change and start to open up.
hmm
I mean, and golly, your room looks like looks like a music store. Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah. You should see the other side. I got a drum kit, a piano, a couple of amps, like 12 guitars,
Oh
a
my
piano.
God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a little overkill.
Oh my golly. That's
Mhm.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. I have tons of notebooks filled with songwriting, with songs that I wrote. I mean, I can't it's kind of hard to show you, but I'll envision it for you. I have a shelf. Of course I have books, and I below the books stacks. Imagine stacks of notebooks packed up with songs in it.
That's awesome.
Those songs that I wrote, and so I'm definitely there along with you musically. And I like that your room is very colorful and also full of music. That clearly shows that you're really into this. You're really into
Yeah.
this, and I think that's what you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life is music. I can't envision you doing anything else. I can't think of anything else you would be doing.
I'd like to say I see the same or think the same. Yeah, it's I want more and more and more. And like I said before, I'm very goal oriented and I'm very driven. And when I set my mind to something, I make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't care what I got to do to make it happen. I will make it happen. So that's my goal. I God willing, that's where the train goes. And if not, then not. It's going to be what it's going to be. But you can attempt to bend fate to your will,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that's what I've been doing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You make sacrifices when you really shouldn't. You tell yourself like, I should not be doing this, but I got to. So, you hustle and just make things happen. Um, Sometimes it's you think that it's not for the better, and by that, it has been like, I mean real points where like I should not be doing this. I have to do this and I have to do that. Now, like my schedule gets so full because I never have time, and I make myself. It's wake up in the morning, slap yourself in the face, and go. I don't care what you're doing today. You're gonna do what you got to do, and then
Mm-hmm.
drink my coffee and then move on with the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most 100%. So relatable.
Appreciate it.
And again, love the decor. I just gotta say it one last time. God love the decor. And to end this on a good note, I do wanna thank you a lot, for stopping by today. I really do appreciate you coming here and doing this with me. Honestly, I've learned so much from you, and you've taught me a lot, and I got to learn so much about you. And I wish you the best of luck on your album. And you guys show him some love, y'all, and look out for July 2nd, his first album coming out. This is his first one. Please make sure y'all listen. And I'm dropping socials down below in the description. So you can always pull up and check on him and, look out for his next great project he has. And
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and thank you as well for having me on. Um, you know, I can only say like I greatly appreciate it. I really do.
yeah, no problem, no problem. And I want to give you a little time to close the show out. So this is what I like to call end credits. Movies, those end credits they have. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of close things out. So this is your time to say any last words you'd like to give your fans. Any advice? You give them a lot of advice, but if you have any more, any thank yous you like to give out, any. lastly, things to look out for from you. You just go for it.
Yeah, of course. Um, a huge thanks to everybody on my team who's worked on these projects with me. I feel so blessed. My audio engineer, my producer, the musicians that played the music on my songs. I'm absolutely thankful to everybody. I'm thankful to everybody who supported me, believed in me, my girlfriend, who really inspired me to do this. Um, and I hope that we keep this train going. And thanks to anybody who's been a fan. And I encourage you, everybody, check out the song "The Danger," out July 2nd on all streaming platforms.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for closing out on that good note. Thank you so much. And to everybody out there, make sure you guys check out Jon Car on all socials down below in the description. Check out his new album and new single, The Danger, coming out July 2nd. Y'all go do that. Y'all listen. Y'all listen. Please do. And of course, as always, make sure to follow us on socials, podcast all on Wrap It Up Podcast. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And y'all have a good one. And give some love to this guy. Please do. Please give some love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I hope everybody have a great day or night, whatever time that you guys are. It's kind of so confusing. And overall, have a good one. I will see everybody soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. Thank you.